It's time for the Wrestling Observer Extra. With Dave Meltzer, right here on The Law. Live audio wrestling.
And let's go. My now smoking with the best.
All right, welcome back to the program here, live audio wrestling on TSN Radio. We got lots of good stuff coming up. Jay is just trying frantically at the moment to get through to Dave Meltzer, so hopefully we'll chat with Dave shortly. We got more of my interview with Ted DiBiase. You want to stick around? He actually talks about Donald Trump. We talked about Donald Trump because he met him at WrestleMania 4. So some very interesting comments from Ted DiBiase about Donald Trump coming up later in the show. And, of course, we'll have title bout trivia as well.
Okay, now we got Dave Meltzer on the line. Hey, Dave.
Right.
How you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing well. We just had a bit of a kerfuffle there getting you on the line, but we found you, which is fantastic. Now, before we went to break, Dave, we were chatting about the main event of Fastlane. Mouth is thinking that maybe they're going to change things up and the title may not end up around the waist of Bill Goldberg. Could you see that happening in any spectrum?
I mean, anything's possible, you know, but I mean, when it comes to WrestleMania, they usually don't make those kind of big changes at the end. I mean, it's, you know, I mean, it's possible, though.
Well, Dave, I guess that would answer the question, is Brock Lesnar booked for Fastlane? Like, is it one of the days on his set of dates, or is it not?
Brock Lesnar was not booked for Fastlane originally. He wasn't booked for Fastlane as of 2 weeks ago. I mean, if they need him, they can, you know, if they need him as a surprise and they change their mind, he can always be there. But whatever the original plans were did not involve Brock Lesnar at first.
Right. Okay. Because I just feel that they've been so they've kept him so weak ever since he's gotten beaten by Goldberg, you know, here twice, that I just feel he needs something really strong to get people interested in the match again.
Yeah, it may. I mean, I'm guessing that if Bill wins the championship, the strong thing, which they do need to do, will probably happen at TV maybe the next night. Because, I mean, Brock is at every Raw from this point until WrestleMania. There's
right.
more Raws that he's not going to be on.
Right.
That in itself has been a strange decision, in my opinion, because Brock is showing up now at these Raws, and it's like there's a dual program going on. You have the focus with Goldberg and Owens, and then Brock has kind of been off to the side. It seems to me like WWE booked him and is essentially wasting his dates at this point. Don't you find that, Dave?
Well, a week ago, I mean, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, he was there, and he only came out, you know, for the main event for the house show. So yeah, I mean, they booked a whole bunch of dates for him, and now it feels like they really they've had nothing for him to do. I mean, he did the interview last week, which they could have. I mean, they could have taped that a month earlier and put it on at any time.
Yeah, and
so yeah, it's like it does feel like they've definitely wasted the last 2 dates with him.
Well, and that's the thing. And even if you're going to put him on house shows and have him like beating up guys in anger, why don't we see some highlights of it on the TV? Why is it not mentioned? I just find the whole booking of Brock Lesnar very strange at the moment.
Yeah, you're right about that, especially when they did the show last week. You know, where he destroys the big show and everything like that. And that would make a great highlight for television, you know, to show, hey, Brock's back and he's now doing what Bill Goldberg's doing, winning in a minute.
And not
but
only
it didn't have anything to do with their storyline.
And not only does it do that, but it maybe might motivate people to go to house shows because something interesting might happen.
Yeah, I think they gave up on that about 10 years ago. I always could never understand why you downplay house shows so much. I mean, I know it's a TV product, but you know, you can serve everything.
Mm-hmm.
Only being a week away from the pay-per-view coming up here, we're also dealing with Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. I mean, both have been booked very strong up to this point. You have Roman Reigns going into WrestleMania to do the Undertaker program. Not sure in regards to where Strowman's headed. Does that look like Battle Royal? He seems to be above that, in my opinion.
I think it's the Battle Royal. I mean, I haven't heard anything different. I think that he's, you know, I mean, they've certainly been preparing him to be like the monster at the Battle Royal because he didn't win the Royal Rumble, but he was the monster there. So I kind of see him as, if you guys remember last year, the original plan was for him to win that Battle Royal.
Right,
and they thought, well, you know, he's not ready, and he wasn't ready a year ago. Now he's ready, so I could see him winning the Battle Royal easily.
He's ready. He's pretty much above that level.
Yeah, I think so, too. It seems like he's already past that. He should be in a major program with someone, I would think.
But, well, I mean, who is there? That's the problem. It's kind of like, I mean, I guess you could say you could put him in a match with Finn Balor, but it's that kind of, you could do it. I mean, yeah, you could do it. Finn Balor needs a match, but
that was my next question.
Yeah.
Because that's not, it's like one or the other is not going to look good, and if you do a double DQ, nobody looks good. So it's kind of like that's a tough program to book right now.
Yeah.
Well, along with that, I mean, bringing Finn Balor is supposed to be on the WrestleMania card, but what do you do with him? We were talking earlier, and it seems like he would be a better guy to bring in the night after and have the big return the day after Mania.
I mean, you could do that. He's starting, any time now. I mean, he actually took some bumps, I guess, at the NXT taping on Wednesday night, and he's supposed to start on the 10th as far as like full time. So I mean, he could be at TV this week or next week or the week after. I mean, he's ready now. So there's as long as if he's on TV, if he's ready to be on TV like this week or next week, I should say, then you can start a WrestleMania program. Because if you think about it, I mean, yeah, we know the whole card or much of the card, but the reality is that, like, aside from Lesnar and Goldberg, nothing's getting built until a week from Monday. I mean, everything else is starting that day. So if he's around a week from Monday, and there's no reason he can't be, they could start and do whatever, They could put him with Samoa Joe. They could, there's just, there's open spots.
Yeah, him when Samoa Joe would work, that's for sure.
We just saw that, though. I mean, we just saw that. I guess the masses didn't just see that.
A lot of people didn't see it. And you know what? They could play off of that, and, they could play off of that to the people who know, and it's new to the people who don't know.
Yeah, I always like to see a bit of a gap.
The only thing with Finn, though, coming back is you'd love to put him into the Universal title picture because he was the guy that won the title and didn't get to keep it. And to me, that's where I think he needs to go to make his comeback effective.
But it's just not the right time. I mean, you could do that. You could do that in the summer.
Yeah.
But if Brock's a champion, is Finn Balor the guy you want as a challenger? I mean, I don't know if that's the match. I don't know if that's the direction that they're going to go. But they had those big plans for him before. I've got to think, that they certainly need to make another top babyface. So I think that they need to protect him and everything. So, but I don't know about the Universal title. I think that he may have to. It may take some time for him to get in that picture again.
Right.
Tonight, Dave, Drew Galloway tweeted out, "Thank you, Impact Wrestling, for these past 2 years and everything we achieved together. I'll miss everyone, and I'll see you down that long road." As far as Drew Galloway goes, that looks like an end to his time with Impact Wrestling. Where do you see him headed? WWE bound?
That's a really good question. I actually just found out, maybe before he tweeted because I've been on the road, but I did find out that he turned down the contract offer today. So that's fresh news. And, he's got a lot of bookings in the UK, but as far as what he's doing, I know he's got some bookings in Mexico. But, I know there was interest from Ring of Honor. I know he was interested in Japan, but I don't know that, I don't know if there's anything there. So, yeah, I don't right now know where he's going. I would, again, What Culture Pro Wrestling seems to be his main focus. I think he's the champion there, and they're doing a lot. In the 5-Star Wrestling. I mean, there's a lot of companies over in the UK that are going to be his focus. But, yeah, I think he's going to want to do something in this country, and I don't know exactly what it'll be.
And, well, is WWE – have you heard anything? Is WWE interested in him?
I haven't heard anything official that they're interested in him. I mean, does the name get brought up? Of course. I mean, it's weird with them, but things always change. There used to be that period where if we let you go, we're never going to bring you back because then it proves that we're wrong. And now, and then there's a period now where they're more open-minded. So, I mean, he should be there. As far as that goes, he's, whatever it was. I mean, they made the big mistake with him when they brought him in and pushed him too hard, and then they dropped it, and then he got dragged down.
Yeah.
Now he's ready. He's ready to be a top guy, and there's no reason he shouldn't be there as far as I know.
Well, you're also looking at WWE trying to solidify their spot, their foothold in the UK market, and having Galloway there.
And that makes him even more valuable.
Yeah.
Let's continue on with Impact Wrestling, going to their tapings very shortly here. I mean, you have other names and contracts expiring, such as the Hardys. Now, this is these two guys, of course, WWE is interested in. They've been tossing out the New Day. They've been tossing out the Wyatts on TV. In my opinion, that was them foreshadowing where they wanted to go. Have you heard anything about the Hardys' future, Dave?
Okay, what I can tell you about the Hardys is that independent promoters that have talked to them, they have said that they will take dates through April, but nothing starting in May. But they said that it may open up. So this is as of a couple days ago. So it looks like they are certainly thinking of the possibility, but it's not 100%. They didn't say no. They just said that they can't take anything past May just yet. So I think everything's in the talking stages. But I wouldn't be, they're obviously, if it was any other company, they'd be able to take those indie dates. So that's telling me that they're thinking in that direction as a possibility, but it's not 100%.
Now, Dave, do you think WWE would embrace the current Hardys gimmick, or would it be like when, the Dudleys came back and they just went to being what they were 10 years ago?
Man, I can't imagine them not doing it because of the merchandising value of it. But it changes everything. I mean, the one thing that they had in TNA is they were in complete control. TNA let them do whatever they wanted with that thing, and I don't want to say it was like a big hit because the ratings didn't reflect. The ratings are still going down. But it was something people talked about. And, I went to WWE shows, and people were doing delete, and obsolete. You go to indie shows, and you hear it all the time when they're not there. So I know that people know of the gimmick. The gimmick's kind of cool. So, I would think that you would really want to do it. I don't think you'd want to go back to doing the old Hardys. But, yeah, it's WWE, and they, often don't like to use ideas somebody else did first.
Right. And,
we'll have to wait and see.
This is pretty way out stuff, even for WWE. I'm just curious whether they would embrace the whole insanity that the Hardys have created with this gimmick.
Well, the other problem is maybe they'll do it, but they're going to have their writers do it.
Yeah.
And the minute that thing is no longer written by Matt, it's going to go off the rails in a heartbeat. I mean, that's just how it is. One guy figured it out, and if you take it away from him and you try to do it yourself, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave. We'll talk to you again next week. WrestlingObserver.com is where you can find all of his good work.